You're live.
What a day.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on with you? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you see us? Can you see us? We don't know. Say something. Whew, man. Can you hear us now?
Looks like a lot of you guys are cold. It's cold everywhere. It got down to 0 degrees here last night.
Welcome to winter.
Night. Yeah.
Don't act surprised.
It's January.
All right.
Whoa, what's going on, everyone? Whoa, what's going on, everyone?
See? All these buttons and switches.
19. There's Beth. It's 19 and windy. Lots of wind.
All right, you guys can see us. Everything's good. You can hear us. Everything's good. Yeah, we got our hats on in the house. Oh, my gosh. It's the first time you ever made a live stream. Way to go, Pat. Tonight is your night. Way to go.
Everyone give Pat a thumbs up.
All right. Yay. Hey there from Richwood, Missouri.
I saw that. Richwood.
It's cold here. We had this morning we woke up to like 5 or 6. I think we got up to like 22. We had a pretty busy day. You guys will see all about it tomorrow. It'll be the most boring video you'll ever see tomorrow, 6 a.m. Stay tuned.
No, but you get to see the baby.
You get to see everything. It's just we're gonna put together a chore day for you guys tomorrow, but you know, it's hard to keep your attention on those videos, but they're just the heartbeat of the homestead, and we love them. So we always throw them in there for you guys. All right, if you ordered a cookbook, first off, welcome to the live show this evening. And my wife and I live in this log cabin that we built ourselves. We post videos on YouTube, and we try to teach you guys how to live a sustainable life, you know, where you can grow most of your own food and do most of your own thing and be more self-sufficient.
And he built it over 10 years ago now, and it's still standing.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
It's still doing good.
So we basically, the wife, Stacy here, has been working on a cookbook for probably 4 years or so.
No, not 4. 3.
All right, 3.4.
Yeah.
3 years. Okay, so the cookbook is out. Now we have pre-sales available. We'll leave a link down in the comment section here for you guys if you want to get the book before it comes out. The first couple thousand books that we sell are going to get a little special something, and they'll ship books on February 15th. They say we're supposed to get them around then, and then after that, we'll be shipping them out to y'all. That's why it's called a pre-sale. So you guys, anyone who bought a book already, look for them, I don't know, maybe towards the 3rd week of February, assuming that they get here on time and everything else. So we'll leave a link for you guys for the cookbook, and maybe you guys will get one and make Stacy feel good about it. And we're going to talk about why Stacy and I live off-grid in a log cabin. That's our topic.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And everything else, who knows where we'll go from there.
Yeah, and if you have a question, make sure you leave it in all caps because it looks like I'm a little light on moderators, and I'll try to answer them and get Stacy to answer them the best we can. Okay?
Hi, Patricia from Niles, Ohio.
And you guys can check out our website, offgridwithdougandstacy.com. You can also hit the general store page, and on that page has all of the links that we promote to you guys that saves you money, right? That you can buy some of the things that you use around the house in bulk, or you can buy an all-American sun oven and save some money. And so we've centralized that for you guys right there at offgridwithdougandstacy.com. So you guys can check that out and hit that link if you want to get that cookbook.
And David Copeland says hello.
And that's my cousin. What's up, cuz? All right. Where was I going? What was I doing here?
We were just talking about what we're
No, I'm trying to get the link.
And all that.
Link. So I can show them where to get the cookbook. All right.
So Chris wants to know, what was our biggest challenge?
That is so funny. It kind of just happened.
Yeah, kind of.
On the livestock end.
Yeah. Yes. Should we talk about it?
Go ahead.
Okay. So for some of you guys that know that we raise sheep, Katahdin sheep, hair sheep. And, you know, every year around this time is lambing season, which is the most wonderful time. It's the best time. You know, winter, it could be cold and icy and all that. But when you have those little lambs, they're so cute. So I love lambing.
And we usually have ours in January, February,
Right.
and they raise them up about a year, and then so that's a good cycle for us. And also, when you a lot of people say, why do you raise sheep to lay them out in the winter? You get more meat in the winter, right? So they just like even bees produce winter bees. When you produce or have your lambs going lambing in the winter time, they're going to come out a little beefier right off the bat. They're going to come out a little thicker with the fur right off the bat. It's just nature doing its thing. So that helps get the lambs off to a little beefier start, and it works really good for us.
Yeah, I'm saying it's amazing, guys. When you have like, an animal born in the middle of winter and they come out, they have like a literal fur coat on. And then if you have them in the summer, they're not going to have that coat. And then the colder it gets, like these little lambs, just in a matter, they'll be born in a matter of 2 days, 3 days. You should see their coat. It gets so thick. It's just the most amazing thing. I just love it. But we were talking about challenges. So this is on the livestock end. Sometimes you have to bottle feed a lamb. Sometimes you'll lose a mother, or as we had this year, we had triplets. And triplets are hard to raise with a mama and with the 3 of them. So we took the weak one and we started to bottle feed it. We tried to bottle feed it. Well, it would not take the bottle. So we had to end up, because it's very crucial when they're young like that, they need, the nutrients.
So the first 24 hours, they really need to get the colostrum. Okay, so if you guys are new to this, that's the very vital stuff they need within 24 hours. It sets their immune system up. It keeps their body temperature regulated, and it's just very important. So we left the lamb on the mom for the first couple of days, just so it was getting the colostrum and being good like that. You can also get colostrum at your farm and home store. And as you guys are having your animals, your cows, your lambs, whatever it is, if you guys can kind of sneak out there every once in a while and grab a little colostrum off of the teat real quick, and then get it built up, you can keep a bag of colostrum in your freezer.
Okay, we'll go on. So we had this. We had the lamb, and so we started having to bottle, or actually tube feed it, because it was not taking the bottle. So this lamb, we tried, and finally he took it. He took the bottle at night, and I was so excited. I'm calling him. He's next door to the learning center. I'm like, yay, he finally took the bottle, because then it gets so much easy, because then they just want to come and, suck on the bottle. The morning we got up the next day, and this guy would not take the bottle. I didn't know what to do. This has never happened to us before. It didn't take the bottle. I tried for another few days. We had to tube feed it again. This guy, we tubed almost a week.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. And then, you don't want to go too long, because you can actually start irritating their throat, and then they'll just totally not go to the bottle at all. And then you'll really have a big problem. So the tubing is really temporary. Normally, they'll start to suckle right away.
Yeah, it usually takes about maybe 24 hours to 2 days at the most. That's usually how it is. So this one, he was very challenging for us, I thought. So then I said to him, we can't keep tube feeding him. There's no way. And I'm like, we're just going to have to.
Natural selection.
So I said, no more tube feeding. Hey, I was like, oh, please drink. And finally he did. Maybe he heard me. So now he's great. He's awesome. He's out with everyone. And so life is good. So that was very challenging for us, because,
first he took we had the syringe. I don't know why you're so in a hurry. We had the syringe, and, we give him a little bit there on the lips, and then he would kind of get going on that. And then we got the bottle, he kind of took the bottle. And when he first took it, he wouldn't hardly take any, like an ounce or maybe 2 ounces. So then it was like every hour, 2 hours, an ounce, 2 ounces. See, this is all these details. Yeah. And then we kind of built it up, and then it was like 3 ounces. Yeah. And that's like every 2-3 hours, and then the feedings were getting a little further apart, and he was taking in more. And now he's like doing like 5, 6, 7 ounces,
or
8
more
ounces.
Than that. Yeah.
Every
8, 9, 10 ounces.
2 hours, 4 hours.
No, in the morning he'll drink a whole huge bottle, and then throughout the day, he's doing it. He's getting lots of nutrients now. But it's challenging. I have all these different nipples, different bottles. We tried so many different things, putting blackstrap molasses on the nipples. I mean, a lot of you guys that are starting with animals, I know it can be really frustrating. You try different things to try to get them to suckle, and finally he did. So it's good. Everything's good with him. All right.
So the log cabin that we're in right now, I actually built this in 90 days. I dragged the logs out of the forest. I sent them off to the sawmill, and then This is a little bit different log cabin than the one I'm building for Mom, if you guys are following along with that build. These are long pieces, 20 feet long, and then the windows are cut out. I mean, it was really easy, not a lot of seams, not a lot of pieces. Mom's cabin's a little bit different, and I like that too, because I like the different styles. I like to see the different styles, how they go together and stuff like that. So I built this cabin right here in 90 days. Stacy was still living in town. I came up, I slept in a tent, I brought the dogs up, and we were here actually learning the land, right? I was waking up every morning, learning how we were going to set things up, seeing how the rain would fall, how the sun comes up on the land, which way the water washes off the way. And then as I was observing that, I was building the log cabin, and I finished it in 90 days.
And then Kathleen says, greetings from the People's Republic of Taxifornia. And then we got, there's Deb and Bandana Grandma. Good. Hey, guys.
Yeah, you guys pick up some T-shirts. The T-shirt place called and said they're going to cancel us if we don't start selling them. We never talk about T-shirts. They didn't really say that, but you guys should get some T-shirts. It's better late than never, Sharon.
Oh, try yoga, the Republican yogi. Oh, and from O'Fallon. Hi, O'Fallon. O'Fallon, Missouri.
All right, so if you guys have any questions you want to ask us on living off grid in a log cabin, make sure you put them in all caps and we'll try to answer them. And if you guys haven't hit the thumbs up, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. It's totally free and it helps out the video, So I see there's only 539 people in here, so that means they didn't send out notifications to everybody. They're up to their shenanigans again. So if you guys start smashing the thumbs up, then they'll say, whoa, something's going on, and they'll send this notification out to more subscribers, and maybe more Homestead homies will drop what they're doing and come on over.
All right, so Denise Robinson wants to know, how long did it take to literally detox from all the stuff the world calls normal and live off grid? I love that you've done this for so long, by the way. Well, you know what it is like when we moved here now. So are you meaning detoxing just like from just everything, like the foods and all that kind of stuff, or just like getting away from everything? Calling normal and live off grid. We'll kind of talk about both. So basically, we started living and doing, what we're doing now. We didn't have a lot of the lights from the city here. We had the animal sounds and nature sounds, so we were out in the sunshine. We were outside a lot. We were out with the animals. We're in the garden, and we just kind of started living our life like we do. And we just started noticing health changes. Like we started feeling better, having more energy, sleeping better. So, you got rid of all that noise. You got all the electromagnetic waves and frequencies. We don't have a lot of that. So all those things really contributed to us like thinking better, sleeping better, feeling better, having more energy. And then you add on growing our own food. We have our own organic garden. We raise our own animals. So then the foods we're eating is pure. We don't have any preservatives. Everything I cook from scratch. So just started doing that, and it probably took a couple years, and then we started feeling great. We're barefoot a lot. We're connected to the earth. We're out in like I was saying, in nature. We get a lot of movement. We get exercise. So you put all those things together, and it really, really changes your health and vitality like you can't imagine. So I would say, would you say a couple years?
Yeah. Hello, Al and Cynthia Zimmerman from Canada. All right.
And then how long did it take you to build your cabin? We talked about that.
I'll buy 2 T-shirts. Yeah, keep us alive. Do you still connected to the earth if you step in? All right. Karen here is just kind of off the chain here.
You do. I could talk about the Amish kids. I could talk. It was funny when we first moved here.
There's actually studies all about it, guys. The barefooting and walking in poo and walking on the land, it builds your immune system. I mean, that's why they've done studies, and Amish kids don't get sick as much as city kids. They actually focused in on Amish kids.
It was the allergens and all that
yes.
stuff. Because I remember it was the first year that we moved here, and I had gone to one of the Amish homes because I wanted to learn how to, dress chickens. She was doing her fryers. So I went to help them. And I remember the kids were running around without any shoes, and they were taking me to the barn for something. And there was poop all over the place, and they were just walking all around barefooted. And I was like, oh my gosh. But now living like we live, it's like no big deal.
That's what we do.
Yeah, it's no big deal now. But I mean, it's interesting. It very is interesting because if we're so sanitized, we're washing our hands, and the hand sanitizers is killing you guys. It's terrible. Look at the ingredients. Do your research on hand sanitizer. Make your own, out of things that you know. But when we get over sanitized like that, then, you're watching all those wonderful things that are protecting you. You guys have this wonderful suit of armor covering your whole body. And if you keep taking showers and using antibacterial soap all the time, you're washing it right off of you. So it's just important, that you are, washing your hands. Okay, I understand that, but don't use antibacterial soap. Something good like Dr. Bronner's or a Castile soap, something that's natural.
Because I do it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Doug, how did you lose weight? I kept working and she couldn't keep up feeding me. so I started shedding the pounds. That's it, man. Cut out the sugar. That's it. I cut way back on the sugars and the
intermittent
sweets.
fasting.
A little bit of intermittent fasting. And I have been working like a dog for the last 13 months, pretty much. So all that stuff. But for sure, your sugar is your biggest nemesis. So if you can knock that out and get away from the, I know you're in the donut store and, you knock that stuff out, you'll lose it. Location, location, location. Why that spot for the house? I don't know. It's just a spot we found at the time, Doug, where did you get your hat? At the Beaver Hat Company that's now out of business. 100-and-something-year-old company. They're now gone forever. So actually, you homestead homies that if you're watching right now, let's see, 657 of you. So hit that thumbs up. And if you guys are run across anybody who does felt hats, I need to have this dyed and taken care of because I'm going to keep this. I want to keep this hat. It's going to last a long time. So I need to find somebody. It's like a dying art out there doing felt repair. So, all right.
Do you eat, Darlene wants to know, do you eat broccoli and cauliflower leaves? Have abundance, would love. Oh, yeah, I did a video on cauliflower. Their cauliflower leaves are like one of the highest in calcium. Very, very high. Oh, the leaves are amazing. So use it all. You don't have to just pull off, the part that we think to use, the white part of the cauliflower or the, broccoli. The leaves are full of vitamins. So you can go ahead and saute them and do lots of stuff with them. So yes, definitely. Yes, yes, yes.
Have you grown sugar beets?
The sugar, you're talking about like the GMO beets that they make sugar with? Let's talk about that real quick. So a lot of you guys might not know this, but when you look at sugar, like regular white sugar, refined sugar, it'll say cane sugar or it'll say just sugar on it. So a lot of times if you're getting sugar and it just says sugar, it's made with the GMO sugar beets. And if it says cane sugar, it's from the sugar cane plant.
C&H pure cane sugar from Hawaii.
Yes. So yeah, you're going to do the sugar. Make sure it's cane sugar, not just sugar. So if you read the label, it'll just say sugar on it and it doesn't say cane sugar, then it's from GMO beets generally.
Wow.
Do you guys, exciting. Do you only use the cook stove to heat or do you have stoves? No, it's heating right now.
That's a cook stove. Yeah.
It cooks, it heats, it looks pretty. It's my dehydrator. Because I put everything, I can dehydrate all winter long. On the top here right now, I have a bunch of chicken paws for Molly that are dehydrating. And then it's also a warming rack on top. I mean, it's multi-purpose. And then when I don't use it in the summertime, it's great. I store my ferments on it and it's good for storage and I put things on it. So it has many, many uses.
Hold on now. You should have left your name there because your handle name, what is that? Ion Lipstick. Hello, Doug and Stacy. I've been watching you since I was 13. Now I'm 18 and I love your videos. Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, we kind of grew up together.
That's pretty cool.
I hope we taught you some stuff.
Are you living off solar?
We're 100% on solar. now, after 10 years with no solar, no wind turbines, just basically living off a generator. 10 years. Now we have solar, and we're just highfalutin now.
Okay, so Integrity 56 is about to buy our land and get started meeting realtor Saturday. How long did it take you to decide where to place your cabin and how? Hello from Alberta, -16 Fahrenheit. Woo.
Yeah, so placing your house on your property, the highest ground, basically. You don't want to pick the bottom of the hill or anything like that, the highest ground. And then south facing, so you get passive heat. And, you just have to figure out the lay of your land and how water moves, and all that stuff's important. That's why I was in the tent. So that's a good tip for you. Get out there with a tent with the family, spend a couple nights in it, get a good feel for everything, and then take it from there. Don't be in a hurry.
Yeah, I think that was huge. And then find out when it rains, where the water's going to go, really makes a huge, huge difference. Okay, which one of you think, this is from Georgia Peach, which one of you think your health has improved the most? Well, it probably is me, definitely, right? Wouldn't you say? Well, both of us.
That's why I skipped it, because I think we both
were. Yeah. I mean, I was really feeling bad, like shortly after, like right after we moved here. And then
Amanda Reed, this can't go on. Now, if you show up late again, there's going to be trouble.
Yes, Amanda.
Glad you made it. Better late than never. That's what they say. All right, make sure you guys are smashing that thumbs up. We got 460 thumbs up, 787 people watching this evening. If you guys hit that thumbs up, Stacy gets all tingly inside. Come on.
And then Darlene made a chicken in her sun oven for the first time, said it was delicious.
Love it. If you guys go to offgridwithdougandstacy.com, you can still use the coupon code and get yourself a sun oven and make yourself some juicy, good chicken too. Love it. Do you buy canned goods for a backup? No.
Well, I have a couple. I mean, downstairs.
No, we don't. What do we have?
Name it. I buy tomato paste. I love tomato. I do get tomato paste.
Yeah. What else?
There's certain things that I'll get.
Sardines. What else?
Lots of sardines. Lots of
Kippers.
Sardines.
What else? We don't get canned goods.
Well, that's not canned.
Because see, the thing is most of the canned goods, and I know what you're talking about as far as having stores down there and getting some soups and all that stuff, super high in sodium, super bad for you. The can leaches into the food. So no, we don't really mess around with any canned food for our stores. And y'all, we're eating ferments, fresh garden produce right now in January, because we fermented our garden last year. And pretty soon we'll start our seeds like many of you are doing now, and we'll be growing food. And so look, we've never had a moment that we didn't have our fresh food from the garden. So.
Yeah, tonight I just took one of my beets. I'm kind of sad I only have like a couple beets left, but I took I just have this big jar, and that one was from a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was many months.
What did we have last night?
I made the best recipe up. You want me to tell
Go ahead.
This is so good. It turned out so good. I called my friend and
That's why you got to get the cookbook.
You have to try it. This isn't in the cookbook.
Shh, don't tell him that.
No, I was going to tell him the recipe.
I know, but don't tell him it's not in the cookbook.
It was so good. I have a bunch of butternut squash down in the root cellar. So I thought I got to start eating some of them. So I went ahead and I thought I'm going to make something with it. And I had some hamburger. So I go ahead and cook the butternut squash in the oven, cut it in half, took the seeds out. And then I made some hamburger, and in the hamburger, I put some cinnamon and some lemon juice. What else did I put? Now I can't even remember. It was so good. Some red pepper.
Some ghee.
Well, no, that was just that was on the
was a little cheese or something there?
No. Now see, I can't even remember.
Well, it was really good.
Well, it was the cinnamon, and then I mixed it all up. And of course, you had to put some onions and garlic in there. And then the trick was I got tahini, and it was cinnamon tahini. So I got some tahini, and I put some cinnamon and some more lemon juice in there, and then some coconut aminos. And then I just drizzled that over the top. I put the hamburger inside of the butternut squash and drizzled the cinnamon tahini on the top. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so good.
Emma says it's 4:32 in the morning and she's in Bucharest and she caught us on the live show.
Cool.
How cool is that?
That's awesome.
Good morning. Hope you had a good night's sleep.
Oh, Gina says homemade hand soap with Dr. Bronner's is wonderful. I use Dr. Bronner's for everything. I love it. Because you know what? A lot of these soaps, you'll use them and your hands will dry out. I mean, I'm washing dishes and doing stuff all the time, and my hands would get really icky. Dr. Bronner's is the best. I love it. We buy it by the gallons, and I just store it down in the root cellar, and then I make my own soap. You know, it's very concentrated. And if you use it, it's going to last you forever. You only need a couple drops if you want to wash your face or wash your body, and it's great. Stacy, how do I maintain my ferments after I refrigerate them? Can I add brine if needed? Please put your questions in all caps so we can see them easier. Yes, if sometimes the brine does kind of like go away. So you can make a little bit more brine and put it in there. Sure. Yeah. Keep on keeping on. Location, location, location. Why that spot for the house? We already talked about that. What is the best fermentation recipe from Kylie? Heaven's Gates cherry. There's the link right there. Get some. Get it while it's hot. What the best fermentation? The ones that you guys like. The one you eat. Yeah, the one that you eat. You got to try one. Carrots are like, if you guys are just wanting to get into fermenting, or if you're just kind of curious how it is, carrots, they're the best ones to get in to start with. You can do carrots like spears. Yes. Cut them and put them in there with some garlic, or when you put the dill with it, it's really good. I love beets. That's one of my favorites. So I just put a few garlic cloves in there with the saline, with the water and the salt. And that's one of my favorites. And I, of course, like my spicy sauerkraut. But Dr. Bronner's. B-R-O-N-N. Oh, here. We use cell phone Wi-Fi hotspots. You know, it's fine. Dr. Bronner's. Okay, well, sometimes it's good to see it. Yeah. Well, some people get offended by the label. Just put it over there. Okay. Let's see. But I love sugar. Yeah, and that's the thing. Sugar, you know, you love everything bad for you. Well, sugar, you know, you get one that's a least processed. Like my favorite is sucanate, sugar cane natural. It's just evaporated the cane sugar, the juice. So when it's has not been refined or processed a lot. So just change the kind of sugar that you use. Or of course, honey maple syrup or stevia, pure stevia. It says small scale shed to tiny home. What small solar generator would you recommend? Hummus.com. Actually, they make a pretty good portable little generator, Thelio. Okay, so Vivian said, I've started sweet potatoes in pint jars. How often do I need to change the water, or do I? Yes, it's going to get very stinky. So just, you know, look at it and you can kind of smell it. You don't want it to get rancid. You know, I just kind of look at it. If it starts to look icky and, you know, it doesn't look right, then I'll change it, you know, every couple weeks or something. Okay, so Lonnie loves the garlic honey ferment. Me too. It is great. If you guys haven't seen it, we did a video on it, on fermented garlic honey. So good. The thing is always be proactive. You know, if you're going to do the garlic honey, make sure, you know, you start it, because it's going to take, you know, a couple months for it to start to get effective. So the longer it sits, the better it is for you. What's up, Smalls? About time you participated. And you're welcome. And thank you. Michael wants to know, have I ever used chocolate chips to make chocolate yogurt? No, because it's too sweet. I don't want to have. We just said no sugar. No, no, no. Now you could, if you do want something chocolatey, you could kind of fix it up. Use like cacao powder, like raw cacao powder, and then maybe put some, you know, if you don't want to have any sugar at all, you could put a little stevia, like green stevia or stevia extract in there. You could do that, or a little honey or a little maple syrup with that. That would make it a lot more healthful. Okay, here's the age-old question. Are you ready? What? Are yams and sweet potatoes the same? Okay, did we talk about this last time? No, but you weren't talking about it the other day. I thought we for some reason. Did we? No, you were talking to somebody. All right, so basically, a long time ago, I thought we did it on the last show. No, so you were talking to somebody. I forget who it was. But we were just talking about this. Maybe it was Gary or Jerry or Barry or Terry or. Do you guys remember in the grocery stores? I guess is it that pink and orange can that says yams? I mean, it was like the one I just remember as a kid growing up. We used to get that. So it said yams on it. So basically, a sweet potato, what we see grow in the garden, are sweet potatoes. Yams have a very thick, fibrous, kind of like a yucca plant outer coating on them. And what we know in the stores, those are all sweet potatoes. But what happened is I guess the sweet potato companies wanted to distinguish themselves from others. So I guess the company decided to write yams on there to make them like look different than the other ones so people would buy them. So basically what we know, the purple sweet potatoes, the white sweet potatoes, the yellow sweet potatoes, you know, the orange ones, the red ones, those are all sweet potatoes. Yams are different. They have that more of that fibrous and they're more starchy like a regular potato.
So what kind of chocolate chips do you like?
I really do like the Enjoy Life because there's no dairy or soy in them. There's only 2 ingredients. There's a little cane sugar, and then there's, of course, the chocolate, you know, in it. And for the dark chocolate chips in the bag, for a serving, there's 5 grams of sugar. So I like to go get things that are like a lot of times below 5 grams or so. So I like those. I think they have a wonderful taste if I'm going to use chocolate chip as in a recipe.
And if you ordered a cookbook, thank you very much. They're going to ship the cookbooks to us February 15th-ish. As soon as we get them, they're being shipped out. Make sure you guys get a pre-sale cookbook because in those orders, there's a little extra something, something. So you want that little extra something, something, don't you? Oh, but go ahead and get your cookbook now. So that way, you know, you'll have the first run of the hard copies because what happens is these are hard copies. We'll get this first batch. They'll probably be sold out. Then there'll be like this big lag time. We'll have to wait to get the next batch in and then try to get a rhythm going with you guys. So, Stacy, will you please do some more video making DIY beauty and household products?
Yes. How's that? Of course. All right.
Cookbook link. Grant Peck. I just put it in there right now.
There's James.
Where do you put your composting toilet compost? It is very offensive. Why would you ask that? After the 2-year cycle, we put it around the trees. We put it in the garden. We put it wherever we want. We put it in the flower beds on the side of the house. We put it wherever there's a need for compost, if that's your question. If it's not, ask it again.
Meaning, well, or maybe meaning it's in the.
I'm pretty sure they know we put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're asking where do we? They never seen us use it. We pulled it out and put some in the beds, and that we put some in the out here in the flower beds and around some other stuff. So. Get your book while supplies last. Green Dream Project. If you guys want to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, check them out. They're awesome.
They're living down there in the desert of Arizona.
They're working hard, doing a great job.
Doing earth bag stuff. So it's good to see all the different ways people do things. So.
And depending where they live, you know, everyone has different seasons and weather. You know,
yeah, we couldn't do what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Because the earth bags won't work good here. It's a damp climate, humid. They're in a dry, arid area. They could do stucco or you know, that kind of stuff, or the cob, just other things that we can't really do in our area.
Okay, so Cindy says, please say hi to my 16-year-old daughter, Kylie Barabbas.
There you go, Kylie Barabbas.
Is that right? My dad, he had a friend named Ed Barabbas. Are you related?
Yeah, that's his great
crazy?
Cousin's third uncle's brother.
That would be cool. Yes, is it? Are you guys from St. Louis?
Galveston, Texas. You guys watch out in Texas. They're going to try to invade you. All right. When do we expect to finish your mom's house? I don't know. Jeez, I'm trying. You know, it's a lot of work down there. You know, I got to cut out those. As soon as I get those last couple boxes cut out, it'll go a lot faster than the windows, and then the roof and everything will go fast. I mean, I'm doing what I can, you know.
All right, so Shara wants to know, do you also do sprouts? Yes, actually just got done doing a batch. They're in the refrigerator now. Yeah. And if you come to the Homesteading Life Conference, we're going to be doing a lot of hands-on stuff, teaching people how to like do sprouts. I'm going to do sprouts this year. We're going to do everything on cultured dairy products and all that. So we have lots of things. We're going to do a lot more hands-on because we also have another like little building where we're going to do it. Works out good. We'll have a lot of actual hands-on things where you can see how to do it.
Yeah, you got to use our link and then put in the off-grid with Doug and Stacy code for Clyde's Garden Planner. But nice try there, Vivian. Appreciate the effort. Oh.
Okay, so Mid-South Homestead says they use your All-American Sun Oven every day in the summer. It is. You do. I use mine all the time. And so how's the cellar doing since the pour? Integrity
Awesome.
50s. Oh my gosh, I love the root cellar. It's great.
Alexis, here's your shout out.
So Deer and Raven says she tried, if it's a girl, I tried fermenting carrots and they went moldy 2 times now, and I'm too wimpy to try again. Any tips? I was sure I followed your instructions properly. Sometimes carrots are a little sugary. You know, they have a little bit more starch to them. So,
does it make sure it stays under the brine? That's
you know what?
That's the main
Try to
thing.
do, maybe you do one. How'd you do the carrots? Did you shred them? Did you cut them in nubs? Maybe cut them in buttons, put them in there and make sure the brine is totally over them. Maybe do it like that and see what happens. Maybe something isn't, are you using chlorinated water? Because that can mess up the ferment also. You know, what kind of water are you using? So, yeah, if you're still here, answer me and let me know. So just check out with the water there.
Hello, Sharon from Nova Scotia, Canada. Down here at the lower 48, Midwest USA, straight up life on the prairie. Little house on the prairie, actually. And the winds we've had lately, boy, oh boy, you guys are telling me to get these socks and stuff, dead cats for my cameras, and it's so windy. I got them. Oh.
Okay, Randall says, Hillbilly Preacher, hello from Pleasant Plains, Arkansas. Do you grow yellow tomatoes? Yes, I love those little yellow tomatoes, the cherry ones. Those are great.
It says she used the Brita water filter, and the carrots were in sticks. And yes, I'm a she.
Okay.
Thank you, Stacy.
That was quick. Okay, so yeah, just did you use the, you know, I guess for a pint it would be a couple of teaspoons of salt, and but try it again. Maybe cut them up in buttons and
make sure they stay under the brine.
Make sure the brine is totally underneath.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, would mold in the house like
no,
fermenting?
it's not going to get in there.
You know,
yeah, just make sure everything's clean and just try it again. Don't give up.
Right.
You can do it. Maybe try something else too, but just do something where it's totally under the brine. And a lot of times it'll ferment a little quicker if it's bigger. So how many days did you do it for? When it's shredded up, it's going to ferment quicker. So if you shred it like the carrots, then it might not take quite as long. So you might want to try that, or do it in buttons. Just try it again. Don't give up.
Hey, Virginia from Modesto, California. I used to live in California, around that area, actually, in San Mateo, and right around the corner from Putnam Mazda, actually, off of Millbrae there. So I know stuff.
All right, so love run rampant. My carrot sticks fermented well. The kids eat them. What else do kids eat? Well,
keep them hungry. They'll eat whatever you put in front of them.
Yeah, just try, you know, you can just try different things. I mean, they really do, of course, like pickles. So, you know, you can ferment pickles in like spears or big cubes, and they'll eat those, of course, all the time. I never have any problems. The kids really like those. And actually, I like to ferment a lot of peppers are good. A lot of kids like spicy things, you can do the jalapenos. Jalapenos are real good. And it does cut down the spice a little bit. They're still going to be spicy, but not quite as spicy. It also will tone down your onions and your garlic. And another easy one for a lot of you guys that are still, if you're afraid, just get onions, cut them up, and put the salt and the water in it, and that is it. And you can have kind of fermented onions, and they're so good to put on sandwiches and things. And people won't have any clue that you're eating a fermented food. It just tastes kind of like a soury kind of onion. It's really good.
Yeah, what's up, world famous? In Sherman Oaks, California. They still got the Sherman Oaks Galleria. That's where I met Barry Manilow. We were just talking about that.
Oh, yesterday. I was listening to Barry Manilow.
The other day.
How many people love Barry Manilow? I saw him in concert 5 times. That's what you guys don't know about me.
Yeah, you want to know the other thing she didn't know about Barry Manilow? Did you? She had no clue. She just loved Barry Manilow.
I did love Barry Manilow.
Oh my goodness, so funny.
Okay, so Becky wants to know, what is the most satisfying and challenging thing you've experienced in the 10 plus years living off grid?
The whole 10 years.
No, you got. I want you to pick something.
I can't. Everything has been tantalizing all the way around.
No.
The whole experience. I'm not kidding you guys. Our senses are awake. You know, we pay more attention to things. I mean, it's just, you know, you're more in tune with the weather, everything about it.
Yeah, you know what? A big thing is I would say we were very dumbed down, because, you know, you kind of just get like anesthetically, you know, you got anesthesia over your body, and you're not like with nature, with your body as much. I mean, we're in tune with everything. I mean, I can feel the weather patterns now. I know it's up. You know, I haven't been paying attention to the news or anything. I mean, I can go out and I'm like, it's going to be cold or it's going to rain. You see a ring around the moon, and, you know, these different things you start to learn. And then just knowing your body and just kind of being more in tune with yourself and with nature. That was just like a huge thing.
And Lauren Henderson, you bring those kids to the Homesteading Life Conference, homesteadinglifeconference.com. You guys can check it out. It's limited seating. It's in August in Hannibal, Missouri. And we were the only in-person conference last year. So might be the only one again 2021, but we will have our conference come rain or shine.
Okay, so
that'd be fun.
Daddy wants to know, how do you keep your pans from sliding off your sun oven rack? Just got to make sure it's level, you know, make sure you don't have
it's a self-leveling rack.
No, like the actual sun oven, don't put it on like a hill, because then, and they'll do it too.
Don't put your sun oven on a hill now.
Well, I mean, it can, yeah. Just make sure it's not like tilted a whole lot, and just put it in there. I put it down very gently.
And make sure that, like, if you're doing liquidy stuff, make sure, you know, you're not having all the liquid on this side, because then when you put it in, all the liquid will stay on that side, and the thing will cradle over, and then you'll be jaggling it around and stuff. So
right. But and the good thing about the sun oven is it cleans up really well.
Yeah.
So if you do make a mess, it wipes right out.
Yes, we'll be in Virginia at the conference, at the Homesteaders of America conference. We're speaking there in 2021, and we're hoping that they have the conference. They're saying that they're going to have the conference, but their governors, I don't know. We'll see. I'm fully hoping that they have the conference. Pretty much that'll be the only place you guys can see us, is at the Homesteaders of America conference and the Homesteading Life conference.
And then Jeff Cal.
New Jersey Homestead Homie, you made it.
What micron filters do you use in your water filtration?
Oh, I just
1 and 5.
1 micron, 5, and the 10. So I have like 3, I think.
We do have 3.
Bandana Grandma.
So Alexis wants to have a shout out. Hi, Alexis.
We will see you there, Bandana Grandma, and Stacy will even wear her scarf. Why do we live off grid in a log cabin? All right, so that's a good one, right? So the reason why we live off grid, so that was kind of a fluke, because when we left the city, our main goal was to find the land, which we did, 11 acres. We drew a circle on the map, in case you guys never heard the story before. As Stacy was still working in town, I retired at 43, and I didn't retire some rich dude or with some big, you know, pension or pay stash. I just retired because I decided I had enough, right? I had enough with people not wanting to work. I had enough with the aggravation that all involved with, working with other people even. So I sold my company. I had some money left over. We paid cash for everything. And Stacy was still working in town. So I made a decision, like, I was going to learn to homestead. I wanted to, you know, grow food and be more responsible for our life. And, you know, that's what we did. So when we got up here, after all the homework and finding the land, and Stacy was still working she started off 5 days a week, still driving an hour and like 20 minutes back into St. Louis one way, and then driving home at night. Okay. 5 days a week. She said, "Oh, I love my job." I said, "Don't, you're not going to like it." So she did that almost, was it a year?
No,
2
more
years,
than that.
3
Yeah,
years,
no.
2 years. And then, so then she scaled back to like 4 days, and then 3 days. And then it got to be 2 days. And then she was going down, spending the night with her aunt, and then going to work and then coming home. So that was kind of a slick setup. And I was learning fencing. I was hanging out with a master fencer, Amish guy. I was learning fencing and homesteading and animals and sheep and all this stuff, right? For like 2.5 years before we ever put up a YouTube video. I was fully immersed in their culture and doing everything. And so that's when we learned that we didn't have to have electricity. And that was a major bill, basically, because it cost, you know, you got to pay for the line to jump, and then you got to pay for the line from the road all the way to your house, the conduit, the wires, the box, the this, that. Was thousands and thousands of dollars that we really didn't have, and that we weren't sure we wanted to shell out with. Maybe we wanted to do solar. There was all this stuff going on. But once we met the Amish and we saw how they lived, I looked at her and said, we can totally do this, and we don't need any electricity, and we can totally live like debt-free, happy, and go for it. And that's what happened 10 years ago. So we've been basically living like the Amish for the last decade, and we've loved every minute of it.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
And now we live like the Mennonites. Because now we have a little bit of solar power, and we have some gas-powered stuff now. So it's kind of funny, actually.
So Love Run Rampant wants to know, my bell peppers ferment mushy. Can you do it without making them mushy? So I've noticed with peppers, I'm going to tell you something you can do to kind of add to help them stay crunchy. Peppers over time will get a little mushy. My peppers I like to eat sooner because they won't last, definitely won't last a year, though they will get really mushy. So I eat them sooner than a lot of my other ones, like a sauerkraut or a beet. But you can add things with tannins, like you would add to like a pickle to help it stay crunchier. So you could add like oak leaves, you could add grape leaves, you could add bay leaf, things that have a tannin, and you stick that like in the jar with it, you know, a few of those. And horseradish leaves will also do that too. And then if you put a bunch of those in there, it could help from it being really mushy.
And the reason why we did the log cabin, right, is we have these books over here. They're like from the, you know, pioneer days, all these books about
the Time Life series.
Yeah, and you know, the 49ers and the pioneers and the cowboys. Yeah, so I was reading through these, and I saw these guys were coming over, and they were like pioneering through to the west, right? And they were building like sod houses, and then log cabins kept coming up. And then we would go, you know, I remember like going to Daniel Boone's house, and all the log cabins were there, right? 200 years old. And I just started really thinking about it. And I thought, man, you know, I have minimal carpentry skills. I didn't know about stick framing and 16-inch centers and blah, 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 and headers and all this stuff. So I just looked at the simplicity of the log cabin, and I was like, boom, I can do it. And honest to goodness, no carpentry skills, a couple of friends helping me out, kind of like down there. And I built a cabin in 90 days by myself. And I love it. It's been fantastic. And we actually love the log cabin lifestyle and the ambiance of it. That's why, you know, Mom likes it. That's why she got one. She could have built a stick house. It might have been a little cheaper, but it's not going to be as long lasting. It's not going to be as durable, and it's not going to have this ambiance. You know, that's big time. I like that, the ambiance. Oh, and then there's a shout out happening here. Hold on, I see it.
There is?
Yeah, hold on. This is why this loves our channel. Rick runs with horses or something. Right, Rick Wild Horses. Shout out. Hey, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
How are you, Dana?
You doing good? Oh, look, everyone loves
your husband got it for you. Your husband got it for you. 983 people watching, 873 thumbs up. We do appreciate that, y'all. It's free, and it does help out the channel.
Oh, yes, and there is a full moon tonight. It is beautiful. Oh, the coolest thing is cool. Ooh. So when it's this, we have a lot of snow and the full moon. I mean, it's literally like the lights are on outside. I took the dog for a walk last night. It was so cool. I didn't need to wear my headlamp at all.
Stacy, the first animals we had were the dogs. And then after that, the horses were already here. When I bought the property, it actually came with 2 horses, a donkey, or was it 3 horses? 3 horses and a donkey or something like that. 2 horses. Do you remember? Was that after
2 horses and a donkey?
Yeah, 2 horses and a donkey.
Yeah.
And so we had those horses for a while, and then we got rid of them. But the first animals we got were the sheep and the chickens and the horses.
Okay.
Book ordered. Peace out. Boom. Good job. You guys are awesome. And, you know, Stacy worked hard on the book. I got after her for a while there, and so it's rewarding for her. You guys are buying the book and showing the love, and she's, you know, It's her little first book ever that she wrote. It's pretty good. She's like a published author now. I'm so proud of you.
Okay, so Stacy wants to know, why do you live off grid in a log cabin? What was the last straw before you made the move to your property? You know what always stands in my mind, before you go to what we're going to talk about, is when we were living in our house, in our little cul-de-sac, our house, before we moved here into the we went to the apartment and then we came here. One time.
Hold on, start over. What's that now?
So I was just saying, when we lived in our house,
we had like almost a 3,000 square foot atrium, glass, all this.
Well, what happened is he was having trouble with the satellite company, with the television. I still totally remember that. This was like the before it all started. And
this is when we had TVs in our bedrooms.
We had TVs everywhere.
We were breaking all the rules, guys.
And he just got so mad. He said,
"Just
forget it. We're just going to stop it." So he canceled the order.
We had no more TV.
And I remember the kids and all that. Everyone started coming, like I'd be cooking dinner or whatever. Everyone and him too. They would come and sit down and they would talk to me.
And you thought that was so nice?
I did. It was nice because everyone would go into a different room and watch TV.
Right.
And no one would pay attention for me.
Right.
And so when we didn't have television, everyone would come in and congregate and they would talk. Yeah. And it was so nice. And that was the beginning for me.
And that was the beginning, because from there I started looking at the bills. And then when I started writing checks, right, for my our real estate taxes. We have real estate taxes in our state, Missouri. And so I'm writing this check. It's like $5,000 something. And I'm thinking to myself, that's $500+ every single month that I'm mailing off to the city. For what? I mean, seriously, for what? I mean, my house doesn't burn down. I don't call the cops. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, for what? $500 a month. So I did that a couple of years. We were there several years. And man, it just started really irking on me. And then that's when I just said, enough's enough. And then with the work and everything else with these guys, they don't want to work and everything. And so all that stuff was all compiled onto it.
So Victoria would love to know all the details about some of your first conversations about homesteading, your worries, what ifs, concerns. How do you work out those concerns?
That's what we don't roll like that. We don't do worries and what ifs. Yeah, we dive in and then muck through the water and get there. You know what I mean? We're very solution focused. You know what I mean?
Think of that. Don't be problem focused, be solution focused. Yeah. And then when things happen, then you kind of figure them out as they go. Because if you go into it and think about, oh no, what if this happens, you'll never do it. So sometimes, you got to be a little prepared, but just know things are going to happen. And that's how you learn and how you get better.
Steve, you got busted. He says, we're watching in our bedroom right now.
We see you.
The only reason why we say that, guys, is, you don't want to go to sleep watching the TV. All those lights, your TVs are emitting these lights, and that messes with your eyes, and it messes with your digestive, it messes with your mind, it messes with your sleep cycle. All that stuff is going on, right?
Yeah, because you got the EMFs. You want your room where you sleep to be totally pure.
Yeah.
So your brain doesn't have all the EMFs, that's radiating from your computer, from your television. You don't want
put your cell phone by your bed.
Brain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All those things. If you're wondering why you can't sleep, if you did this and you took all that stuff out, maybe if you have a television, unplug it, get your phone and put it in the kitchen, get it out of the room, unplug everything around where your head is. Like if you have like something plugged in right there by your nightstand, have a really nice dark area where you're sleeping. Have anything bothering you, and see if you sleep better, because those things affect our body, because we're just a bunch of cells, and
bunch of viruses.
These things, your body's more virus than you could, like over half of it is virus.
Don't get me started.
No, we won't talk about that. So
and we're your people.
So Virginia wants to know, how many animals do you have and what kind? Horses and sheep
and ducks and guineas and chickens and turkeys and beautiful Airedale Terrier. We have fish and bees.
Yes, we can't forget about our bees.
Good job, Tamara. Now you're off to your great adventure.
Jackson even wants to know, what bills do you truly have other than materials, property tax, and what?
All right, so
Cell
we got
phone.
property tax, personal property tax. So you got real estate tax and personal property tax in the state of Missouri. Then you have our cell phone bill and the gas.
Gas.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you live like nobody else, you can live like nobody else, right? So we went debt-free hardcore all the way, okay, over 10 years ago. And we've been that way ever since. So you guys like that 333G I'm rolling around in? That's 10 years of saving my money and working hard. And then finally, you know, I was 40s and now I'm in my 50s. So I got me a little something that's going to make it a little easier around here for me, you see? So you guys look at that stuff, and it's not most of y'all, but some people look at that and you get kind of sideways about it. You know, I'm 53 years old. I've been working my whole adult life, and I've been living for over a decade with not one single bill. Now you can get jealous.
Oh, yeah, someone was asking the type of our stove. It's called the Pioneer Princess.
Yeah, Pioneer Princess, and they also make the same family, Amish family make these, and they also make the Baker's Choice, which was the first stove that we got.
And then Jody wants to know, how often do you need to take care of the exterior repainted?
For 10 years we've been here and I haven't touched it.
Yeah, it looks great.
So they say on the, you know, the stain is TWP. I think they say like every 10 years or 5 to 10 years or something, but really, to be honest, you don't even, with this oak, you don't even have to stain it. What'll happen is it'll turn a gray and it'll still be just as good. Basically, any kind of a stain on this white oak is just for aesthetic purposes. Okay.
So Common Sense University doesn't give degree. Says, Doug, I love the video you showed us how the log home look. I'm planning on having a tiny house on wheels built, then make it look like a log home.
Yeah, there you go. And actually the Gastineau Log Homes company that we have, we're going to do a video about it, but they actually make a log home that they put on the trailer. Ha! Can a single woman homestead? A single woman can do anything she wants to do.
Yep. And there's a lot of single women around here where we live that have been doing it.
Yep.
And there's one lady around us who is like, you know, in her 70s now, and she just decided to get rid of her cows because it was a little too much, and she's just going to keep her chickens. So, you know what I mean?
There's one that's over 100 years old still out riding a tractor.
No, she's like the oldest. What is it?
The oldest woman in Missouri.
No, 112?
No, but she's like the oldest woman in the country now.
Or something. Yeah, she's really, how old is she?
Don't tell them that. They might find out where she lives.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No, there's someone, yeah, and she still lives by herself.
You guys, you can do whatever you want to do. Don't set limitations on yourself, but also don't take on too much. You become a master of one. You get some chickens, and when you get that down and you're comfortable with it and they're kind of on autopilot, you move on to the next thing. But don't get too much, because then you'll just be running yourself ragged, you know? That's why we don't have milk animals. We don't do cows, or we don't do goats, you know? We don't cut hay out in our fields. Well, you'll learn about that tomorrow. We don't want to buy all that machinery for one time a year, maybe 2 times a year, right? So there's just all these things you guys have to figure out. There's so much to do on a homestead, and you have to figure out what's good for you to do and what is good for you to sub out, right? Let someone else do, and then you pay them for their work, and then it's advantageous for you, okay?
So Common Sense University wants to know, what steps would you give to people?
This Common Step University is all over it here. What is it?
Well, yeah.
Last question.
What would you give to people who are on a low budget, you know, and to get out of the rat race and own a place of their own? What would you say?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you can find, sometimes you can find an old farmer that wants to do a little owner financing, right? So maybe you do something like that. If you're low budget, maybe you can give him a couple $1,000s down and buy 5 acres from him and pay him, you know, a couple $100 a month or something, right? You guys, if there's a will, there's a way. If you guys want to find, we did it. If you guys want this lifestyle, you will make it happen, but you have to get your boots on the ground. Go to the places that you think you want to live. Talk to people in that neighborhood. Do you know, in every little farming community, every little rural area in all of America, there's some little podunk gas station that all these guys meet at every single morning, and they sit there for 2 hours drinking coffee and telling stories. and you guys could just walk in and say, hey, how's it going? I don't mean to interrupt your morning. Hey, let me get you a cup of coffee. But I was just curious. I'm looking around, maybe 4 or 5 acres. You guys know anybody with a couple of acres? And then just kind of get to know them, you know.
And the good old boy club.
Find the stories. Yeah. Then they'll say, I don't know nothing, but Bob over here knows something. Or, oh, yeah, Grandma Sue down the road, her husband died. You know what I mean? That's how you get stuff done. The internet's fine, but boots on the ground is always the best.
And out here, out in the country, people like to talk. They all like to talk. They do. So you know what I mean? If you
not
go
to
out
strangers.
There, well, but they do like to talk. Oh, and then Sherry said, and it's true, insurance and tags for vehicles. That we do have insurance.
Yeah, we have our insurance and our tags for our.
So
vehicles.
that's our other thing, right?
You know, I'm not going to the sovereign citizen yet. All right, if you have any questions, put them in all caps. Greetings from Wisconsin. Hey, Karen. You look a lot of happy faces. Right, happy?
What about tornadoes? Brandon wants to know.
What about them? We're in Tornado Alley.
We have a root cellar now.
The year before we moved up here, they had a big one go through, just right over the corner there, right in through the Amish there. And so when we moved up here, we were like, oh.
Because it's so windy here.
Yeah, but we haven't had a problem yet. And we have the root cellar, right? You guys got to remember that root cellar is all kinds of stuff, okay? Don't forget, everything that we do here has multiple purposes. The root cellar is an atomic bomb-proof building, and it also is a tornado-proof because it's concrete all the way around. Concrete walls, concrete floor, concrete ceiling. The whole thing could cave in on top of it. And if you guys don't see us on videos or get a live stream, send somebody over because we're probably trapped inside.
Yeah, we can't hear because you cannot have any cell phone down there when you're
barely,
down there.
yeah.
No, it goes off when you're down there.
Yeah. You got to come up on the stairs.
So, look at Marnie. She says, I'm a single woman in the middle of Montana running my own hobby farm, cows, sheep, chickens, pigs, and I take care of my dad too.
Boom.
You go, girl.
It's all about what you want to do.
Yep.
Don't be scared. Know your limitations, but push them too, you know. I can barely get a signal in the root cellar. When you get down about 6 or 7 steps, you start losing it, and then if you're all the way down there, it's game over.
Oh, and then manifest. I can't read it all. Covariance. How's little Storm and Norman? He's so cute. I just love him.
Yeah, you love him now.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Love him in a couple of months.
Here's the thing. The rule is to never.
Storm and Norman. Mama.
You really should not bottle feed a boy like a male because they will headbutt you and all that. So I'm really concerned. The one that was weak, I'm like, all of them were girls and he was the only boy and he was the one that needed it the most. And I don't know what we're going to do. Well, I might have to wean him early.
Yeah, we make our own. We're not drinkers, around here that much, but she makes our brandy.
Apple brandy.
We have apple brandy or
pear brandy.
Pear brandy, or if it's not brandy, what else do they call it?
Yeah, well, I did a couple videos on it, and people were like, "That's not brandy," but I call it brandy.
You guys, I tell you.
Here is the best, easiest recipe. I always tell people to do it, and it's so simple. It just takes time. You cut up apples or pears, whatever you want. You just cut them up, and then I just got a gallon or 2-gallon jug, and then you put apples, layer of apples, raisins, and some sugar, like white cane sugar, and then I just keep going. Apples, raisins, sugar, apple, raisin, sugar, and I mush it down, keep going until it's really, really good. And then I'll put a whole bunch of I put plaster wrap over the top and put a book on top, and I stick it back in the corner somewhere and let it go for 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, you can just take off the stuff at the top, and you'll have this beautiful liqueur that's just wonderful that you can sip on and just have a little bit. It's really nice.
And Gemma Fernandez from Portugal. Man, this is so cool. I love hanging out with people all around the world. And they actually know who we are. That's kind of crazy. We live off-grid. Think about this. We live off-grid in a log cabin with no electricity in the Midwest USA. And we have people in Portugal and all these other places, the Aussies, fellow Aussies, all these people from around the world are knowing who we are. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? What's your favorite food to eat that you get from your gardens?
Oh, Just do I have to pick one?
Mm.
Well, I really, I mean, I love my greens. And a big thing that I like is herbs. Love, 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 love herbs because they add so much of a flair to what I'm making, especially in my salad. I love cilantro and I love parsley and I love basil. I use those for so many different things when I'm cooking and putting my salads. They just add such a wonderful flavor to them. So I really like my herbs, but I love arugula. I use a lot of greens, like arugula. Gosh, I don't know. What's your favorite thing in the garden? He just likes to eat whatever I cook, right?
I like the tomatoes, honestly, because I mean, they're not really that good for you, but they're just easy. You can just, and they're always like satisfying. Like they're juicy on a hot day, and they're, you can grab a couple while you're out there. I like the peas, the snap peas when I'm out there working. Yeah, you like the sugar
snap peas, and you like the tomatoes.
I like to have those.
Yeah, the cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, I like them just because they're quick and easy. Like I'm a guy like that,
And the other thing I like is the flowers, like nasturtiums. I like and marigolds. I grow a lot of marigolds, and I love to put them in my salads. And that's what I miss a lot about, in the winter months, I can get some of my greens. I got the greens in my cold frame, but you don't have all those flowers. I like to add all that extra stuff into my food.
Yeah, Jason. Actually, tomatoes are nightshades, and they're not really that good for you. Yeah.
They have lectins, and they can cause inflammation.
Yeah, and they actually do. I mean, people, you eat them and you think they're actually okay for you, but really they're not. And there's actually some people that it bothers them even more.
And you got to see, I mean, all about moderation. Some
people,
if you do have a lot of problems with inflammation, maybe if you eat a ton of those, maybe don't eat so much.
But it's still kind of a farce that, maybe you think tomatoes are good for you when actually they're okay. I mean, they're not great. So, but they're fun to grow and they taste good, and I like them on my sandwich.
Okay, Ryan wants to know, do you want some help stacking logs in the cabin? I would love to pick your brain and give you a helping hand while learning from you.
Yeah, I think Ryan already emailed me.
Oh, they're in northeast corner of Missouri.
Okay,
the city side.
What's the marshmallow plate? Marshmallow plate?
What?
Is there a marshmallow plant?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can grow it. It's so easy, and it's got a beautiful flower. It's very easy.
We barely shop at regular grocery stores. When she was going into town, she would get a little bit at the grocery store.
Yeah, I like to go. That's my plate. If most women like to go shopping at like this clothing stores and buy shoes. I love to go to the grocery store. I just like to go and look at everything and read the labels. I could spend hours in the grocery store. I used to like to go a lot, and read everything. But yeah, really, I don't go and do a lot of that kind of shopping anymore. I don't need to. It's so weird because they always say when you go shopping, only shop on the outer parts, where you have your produce and, the meat sections and all that like that.
Don't go in the garbage is in the middle.
It's a process.
Yeah.
So I started noticing when I first.
Did you guys know that? That was a hot tip you just got.
When I was still working 5 days a week, and I'd be coming back and forth, and we were getting into this, I would be buying more stuff at the grocery store. And as we kept doing it more and more, I kept noticing that I wasn't having to really go to so many different aisles. I'd only go and get one or, a few things. And as the years go on, I find I'm like, I don't really need to get much of anything. It's just like, little extra things that we like to get if he likes certain treats or I like certain treats that, I can't make myself. So it's just been kind of interesting to see that, how I used to buy so much at the grocery store and now I don't need to.
Yeah, I'd say, and we're pretty good. We're growing probably in the 90 percentiles of our food, so basically anything we're getting at the grocery store is just like fluff. And then some flour and stuff that we're not growing here, just like the pioneers did. So they can't grow everything. You just get some and you do what you can with what you can do. And then you barter with your neighbors and friends or go to the store for the other stuff. Describe your worst winter.
One year we had like a foot of snow, then 2 days later we have another foot of snow, and then we had
that was the first year we ever got stuck in the driveway.
Then we couldn't even the driveway. We had no way.
We had nothing.
Shovel. We had nothing.
I sold the tractor after I built this log cabin. I sold the tractor. I got rid of I'm the complete opposite now. I got into this thing where I didn't want any tires, oil. If the system breaks down, I was telling her I don't want to buy any of this stuff. We got to learn how to do all this stuff on our own. And then once we get through that, then we can bring that stuff back. So at least we know what's up. So I was selling everything, right? And we didn't even have nothing. And luckily our neighbor, came over with his tractor because Stacy was still going to work. And he came over because we had had so much snow, and he plowed out our drive for us so she could actually get out and go to work. So it was cold that year too, right? Remember?
Yeah, I remember we couldn't even drive down it was hard to even drive down the gravel road. I mean, we had tons and tons of snow. But actually, you know what it is driving in the snow is not a problem at all. It's just the other people you have to worry about. So if you're in the city and you got a lot of traffic, it's a pain. But when you're out in the country, it's no big deal to drive out in the snow.
And you guys know, somebody was asking about Aladdin lamps. If you guys go to layman's.com, they'll have all the things you need for the Aladdin lamps. They actually own the Aladdin lamps. Like, they bought the company, and they kept the thing alive and everything. So
how about a shout out for Luke and Chelsea from Wyoming?
You just got it from Wyoming Mountain. Luke and Chelsea.
What are your top seed picks for 2021? Ooh, I have a lot. I told you guys I love herbs. So I got a Persian basil. That sounds good. And I got, another parsley, a Japanese parsley, and that I'm looking forward to too. So I just really like the herbs. So I'm going to get those. The parsley, guys, if you're wanting something to grow in the shade, the Japanese parsley grows in the shade. It can be full shade. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm going to put that someplace where I have a lot of shade. So I'm going to try that. And then I think the last live stream, I'm looking forward to the wasabi arugula. And oh my gosh, I got a bunch of different things. And then what was that one? There's a flower called Kiss Me Over the Fence. I got a bunch of, I like the variegated coxcomb flowers. I got a bunch of those. I got a bunch of really cool flowers. And gosh, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then I got a Parisian carrot. So they're carrots that are look like more like radishes. Because a lot of times when you do your ground, if it's dry, they break when you pull them out. That happens to me all the time. So I'm going to get them that are little balls like that, so that if that won't happen to me. So I'm going to try that this year. And gosh, what else? Oh, and I have done this before. If you guys haven't tried, it's called the Hokkaido. It's a squash. It's like a little pumpkin. It's really, really grows very well. It grows very well here. And it made the best pies and things. And I really, really, really enjoyed that. I need to get my list and see. I can't even remember now. What about you guys? What are some things you guys are looking forward to growing? All right. Hello from Brazil.
The sheep are for meat. Those are hair sheep. They're called catadans, and they're strictly for meat and for cutting the grass. And just for being cute when they're little babies. Oh my, the wind's picking up.
Oh,
I tell you, this wind has been crazy. All right, Quasi Rabbit, I see ya. I got your emails. Oh, you always have stories to tell. I had a great lunch with chutney and a red core carrots in Kansas City.
Looking good. That sounds good. Planning for any new chickens this year, Lauren wants to know.
Oh, as soon as I build a chicken house.
Yeah, well, no, I'll get some because we'll always hatch. We'll try to put them in the incubator. My friend around the corner, she just got 96. There's a 96, I guess, slots for it. And so we'll put lots of fun stuff in there. So we'll put ducks and turkeys and more guineas and more chickens.
So don't forget, if you guys got a cookbook, they're going to ship to us on February 15th-ish. And then we'll get them right out in the mail to you. We're going to start working on the labels and everything, so we're all prepared. And I know you guys are excited. There's a link right here if you want to get one. The first couple thousand books we sell are going to have a little special something. Maybe we'll sign them. Maybe we'll, I don't know, put a flower petal in them or something. I don't know. So, no, we don't miss living in the city. Here's our best advice for anyone watching this channel in 2021. Okay, if you stumbled across this video and you've ever thought about growing your own food or, getting out of the city, get out of the cities now. Whatever you can do, this is the year. Do it. If you have a 5-year plan or a 6-year plan and you live in the city right now, shrink your plan. Okay, get out of the cities as fast as you can. Right? That's my big tip for 2021. And that's a wrap on that note. Woo, 1 hour and 14 minutes.
Wait, Kathy wants to know.
Yes, cookbooks will be at the conference.
I want to buy land in Arkansas. How do I deal with chiggers when establishing a house? Chiggers like moist, kind of shaded areas. So if you have your grass up high,
that's one problem.
Moist, make sure grass is cut.
Yes.
That'll solve a lot of problems where you're going to be going. Chiggers, that's what they like.
And what else? Come on.
What do you mean?
Give her the second phase to this.
Keep the grass cut and help me out.
Guineas.
Yeah.
Get yourself some guineas. They will clean the bugs. They'll get the microscopic little chiggers. They'll get all that stuff. They get the ticks. They get the bugs, and they're really good. They're not as hard on the garden. And so there's your 1-2 punch. Grass short, guineas deployed.
Yeah, I got them. I got a huge gang of them now.
Yeah, well, actually we do.
I got a lot of them. They're funny.
Brookville, Ontario. Wow. Yeah, get out of the city. You guys, 2021, if you guys can shrink up your plan, this will be the only time I'll ever tell you to go into debt, right? Money right now, you guys is super cheap. If there's anything you want to do right now and you can do it, do it. Okay? This is the year 2021.
So Peace Out wants to know what's the name of the small carrots. Parisienne, like Paris, P-A-R-I-S-E-N-N-E, something like that. Parisienne carrots. So they're just like little orange, they look like orange radishes.
There's the last link for the cookbook. As always, we appreciate you guys coming by the homestead. We did see 1,000 of y'all in here tonight. Thanks for hitting all of them thumbs up. And make sure we're going to be on tomorrow, 6 a.m. It's a big day tomorrow. So guys, we hope to see you guys checking out our video. And stay until the very end and leaving a comment, because all that stuff matters. Oh my gosh, y'all. So that's it. We had a pretty busy day. We always like hanging out with you guys. And
Tracy says the cookbook is her birthday present. Well, happy birthday next month.
Happy birthday to ya.
Oh, Michael says maybe new poultry shirts will show up. We appreciate it.
Yeah, he says he's mailed them out a while ago, and they got hung up somewhere. So thank you for that. I read your comments in the other thing you left the other day. All right, that's it. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, it was great. You guys get out in nature, go for a walk, get out, put your feet in the dirt. You can even put them in the snow.
Yeah.
Try that.
For like a second.
It'll be like, woo, good for you.
All right, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow morning. Make sure you drop by, watch the whole video, leave a thumbs up and a comment. And you guys have a nice weekend. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Yep. See you guys later. Bye.